Okay, so some of you guys were confused on the Senju part, and it will be explained later in the story. I don't want to spoil anything. Um, um, Check out the Discord. I will be using that for something very special soon, so stay tuned for that if you're already in the Discord. Follow my Instagram once that gets to 600, I think it is. I'm doing an hour video, so if you want longer content, go follow me on Instagram. Smash that like button if you want the series to continue. Subscribe if you're new. And let's get into the video. Roll the intro. By doing this, he earned the trust of the Uchiha clan. They now fully supported Minato. He had indeed stopped the Uchihas from doing something reckless, but the Hyuga were not taking it kindly. The Uchihas still handled the police force of Konoha, but now also worked for the village. Due to this, Konoha's strength increased as the world's most powerful clan was backing their forces instead of maintaining just internal affairs. However, Minato did not do any injustice to any other clan. All of them were equally important for the village, but the Hyuga clan wanted him to marry someone from their clan too, so that they could also gain some status. But Minato didn't want to marry someone whom he didn't love. He had explained it to Hiashi, and he had begrudgingly agreed. However, Minato had assigned few squads of Anbu to watch the Hyuga clan, just in case. She's been missing for some time. The details are classified with the Anbu commander and me. I have made every effort to find her, but so far, we have achieved no success, explained Minato briefly. What were her last whereabouts? Asked Inoichi Yamanaka curiously. She was assigned patrol duty in the northern sector of the village. She was to report at Anbu HQ after her patrol, but she never showed up, said Minato seriously. And the Anbu squad guarding her? Asked Tsume suspiciously. They're all MIA. There's no trace of them. It's as if they have been wiped away from the face of the earth, said Minato irritatingly. It must have been Kumo. They had tried to abduct her in the past, said Choza angrily. We have not confirmed it yet. Jiraiya-sensei has been searching for her all over the nations, and so far, he has not found involvement of any hidden village in this incident, explained Minato briefly. What should we do now, Hokage-sama? Without our Jinchuriki, we would be pretty vulnerable. Despite Kushina-san's boisterous behavior, she was one of the most strongest Kunoichi of our village, rivaled only by Mikoto-sama and Tsunari-sama. It could be she left the village in her own choice, said Chibi logically. Many council members shivered in fear. Kushina was not someone you would like as an enemy. She was the last Uzumaki and was powerful enough to keep the Kyuubi in control. Her ninja skills were Kage level. If she had turned against Konoha, then they would be in deep trouble, as she was the Jinchuriki of the strongest and the most fearsome Biju of the world. If the Kyuubi was unleashed, then Minato sensed the fear in the people, and it was justifiable. He was also highly tensed. Jiraiya had reported that there were some fishy talks going between Iwa and Kuma too. He knew Iwa detested Konoha for their humiliating defeat in the Third Great Ninja War. Kuma definitely wanted the Byakugan, and the Sandai Raikage would try to get it at any cost. Suno was recovering from their losses. Right now they were Konoha's allies, but Minato knew there was no such thing as alliances between hidden villages during the war. Kiri was in a civilian war right now. A rebellion had been started against the Yandai Mizukage. He was eliminating all the bloodline clans. Reports were saying he had gone mad and was receiving support from Kumo on the condition that they would give them a bunch of the bloodline shinobi from their research. In all, the world was in chaos and was heading towards the Fourth Great Ninja War. Even though no one could see it right now, Minato knew that within a year or two, war would be at Konoha's doorsteps. Plus, there had been news of a new organization called the Akatsuki. Right now, they were being hired by Iwa and were small timers, but it would only take one spark to light a deadly fire that would burn down everything. Minato looked at all the members of the council. Only Shikaku, Hiruzen, Koharu, Homaru, and Shibi had the same look as him on their faces. They must have at least have come to the conclusion that things were going to get worse from now on. But still, Minato knew he had to be strong. He knew his people needed him. Even though Kushina was his best friend, he would do what was right as the fourth Hokage of the Leaf Village. Kushina Uzumaki is now labeled an S-rank missing nin. If any of you are to encounter her, she must be brought back to the village, alive. We cannot lose the QB, instructed Minato strictly. Yes, sir, said all the members in unison. This information will not be put in the bingo book. Only you people are entitled with such sensitive information. If I find you have broken this rule, said Minato, and leaked so much killing intent that almost all the wooden desks in the room cracked. The elders were already on the verge of fainting. All the clan heads were sweating badly, even Hiruzen. Danzo and the Anbu commander's heartbeat had increased a lot. I will kill you as well as your entire clan, said Minato dangerously, with his fierce blue eyes sending a clear message to everyone in the room. No one messes with the fourth Hokage of Konoha. Flashback end. A tired sigh escaped from Minato's lips. His intuition was true. Things had indeed gone worse. Iwa and Kuma had formed an alliance a few months back, with the aim of increasing border trades which will benefit both the villages. Border trade my ass, thought Minato with a frown. They were strengthening their military and were preparing for a war. What they wanted from such a futile war was pointless, but there was going to be a lot of bloodshed soon. Minato's azure eyes went up to a photo frame. A small smile came on his face. It was their family photo. He was standing in his Hokage robes. One of his arms was around Mikoto's waist. She was wearing her Jonin vest and black pants. She was holding Itachi in her arms. There was a wild smile on Itachi's small face, while Naruto stood between him and Mikoto with a very faint smile on his face. Minato and Mikoto both had one of their hands on his shoulders. Naruto was a very unique child. His sense of thinking was clearly more advanced than anyone his age. At the age of 4, his senses of thinking was on par with a teenager. Minato was very sad as he couldn't spend much time with him, and he had started noticing the change in Naruto's behavior. When he was of Itachi's age, he would always try to get Minato's attention. At times he would also demand to spend time with him. But due to Kushina's disappearance and the rising tensions between the villages, Minato used to spend almost all the time at the office and increasing Konoha's military force in order to protect the village. Mikoto did try to fill in his role, but nothing could overcome the lack of a father in Naruto's life. Naruto gradually became very silent and started to talk less with him with each passing day. He was never disrespectful or showed any hatred towards Minato. He was just indifferent. It was as if he didn't care about Minato anymore. Minato was very proud of Naruto. He never blamed Itachi for Minato's mistakes. He cared about his mother and family. He was always the first one to wish him on his birthday, though he only just said happy birthday and went off, but that was enough for Minato. It showed that there was still hope and he could still get his older son back. He was interrupted from his thoughts when he felt a pair of soft hands encircle him from his back. He knew who this person was. If you worry so much, you grow old soon, said Mikoto softly. Nah, I'll never grow old. I'm still the most handsome man in this village, said Minato jovially. Getting cocky, are we? Asked Mikoto with an amused tone. Minato just gave another tired sigh. He gave Mikoto a signal to sit. She slowly came around and sat on a chair beside him and put her hands on his hands. What's troubling you? Asked Mikoto worriedly. Naruto, said Minato sadly. Did something happen? Asked Mikoto curiously. No, he didn't do anything. You know what I mean, said Minato tiredly. Mikoto gave a nod. She understood what he was thinking. The relationship between her husband and elder son was strained to say the least. Both of them were right in their own perspective. Minato couldn't spend time with Naruto as many things were happening and he had to look after the village. She was heartbroken when Kushina had gone missing. A part of her blamed herself for Kushina's fate, but another part of her wanted her to be strong for the two lovely sons. Naruto was disheartened all these years as Minato was never there. Minato couldn't even spend more time with her too. But since the village had become stable again and things were looking good in the shinobi world for a while, Minato was now spending time with his family and Itachi. She knew Naruto didn't hate his father. It was far from it. He was just disappointed in Minato. Most of all, her elder son had a very mysterious personality. He didn't care much about making friends. He just liked to spend more time with his family. He was unusually quiet and only spoke when necessary. As his father, you think I would understand him, but I clearly don't know how I can get him back. He probably hates me, said Minato sadly. That's not true. He just isn't sure about his feelings. Even though he's smart, he's still a kid. Kids are like that at his age, explained Mikoto with a smile. I'm really proud of him, Mikoto. I'm really happy that Naruto and Itachi get along with each other, said Minato proudly. He loves his younger brother more than us, said Mikoto warmly. I'm not gonna give up. I'll help my son in every way possible, and make up for the lack of a presence in his life for all these years, said Minato with determination. Now that's my Minato. I'll help you too, said Mikoto with a smile. Minato leaned forward and kissed Mikoto softly on her lips. She kissed him back more lovingly. What would I ever do without you, said Minato softly. They were interrupted from their little romance when they heard two voices. I told you not to jump, Baka. Now you're hurt, came Naruto's irritated voice. Mikoto immediately got worried and got up to rush to the stairs from where the voices was coming from. However, Minato stopped her. She looked at him harshly, but he just told her to sit down and watch. But Nichan, I wanted to see how much high it can jump on your bed, came Itachi's cute voice. You're lucky you just fell off the bed. What would have happened if you fell on the ground? Asked Naruto sternly. Sorry, said Itachi silently. Both Naruto and Itachi entered the kitchen and were quite surprised when they saw both of their parents sitting together and watching them. Itachi was sitting on Naruto's back and had his legs wrapped around Naruto's waist. Minato gave a smile in return to his sons, while Mikoto was a little worried and immediately came towards them. What happened? Asked Mikoto worriedly and knelt in front of her sons. Naruto put Itachi down and Mikoto noticed he had a sore ankle. She gave him a very stern glare. Itachi, what have I told you? Asked Mikoto strictly. To not jump, said Itachi sheepishly. Mikoto just sighed on her younger son's antics. He really was a handful and always got himself in trouble. It was the exact opposite of his older brother. Let's get you healed, said Mikoto softly and picked up Itachi and went towards the medicine shelf. Naruto just had an amused smile on his face. He then noticed Minato looking at him. Naruto, come here. Spend some time with me, said Minato happily. Naruto's eyebrows twitched a bit when he heard those words. All those times he asked his father to spend time with him, and he had refused, saying he was busy. Now, after 3 years, his father finally got some time for him. But still, this was his father, and he just decided to obey him and be done with it. He didn't hate his father, but it still pained him every time he remembered the past. He silently went and sat beside Minato. Moments passed, but he didn't utter a word. It was as if there was nothing to say. Minato noticed his son's feelings. Naruto now just called them Ta-sama and not Ta-chan. I'll not back down, thought Minato firmly. Naruto, said Minato hesitantly. Both father and son rarely talked with each other, and this was a rare time when they both were alone. Either Itachi or Mikoto were always around whenever they were near each other. Yes, Ta-sama, said Naruto neutrally. Naruto's heart broke a little when he heard his voice and those words. He really had pushed away his elder son. The village was safe for now, but things had went downhill with him and Naruto. He wanted to know his sons, his likes, his dislikes, his dreams and ambitions. What is your dream, Naruto? Asked Naruto kindly with a smile. Naruto just wanted to say he didn't have one and end the talk, but somehow a part of him wanted to say something. He looked at his father briefly for a few moments. The man definitely wanted to talk with him. Dang, my kind hurt. What? Okay, you know what? It's fine, thought Naruto, frustratingly. I only want to protect my brother, that's all, Naruto said hesitantly in a silent voice. His voice had a... Never mind, not hesitantly, just silent. His voice had a little doubt... Never mind, hesitantly. His voice had a little doubt in it. It was as if he didn't consider himself strong enough. That's a noble dream you have there, son. I'm really proud of you, said Minato proudly. Naruto's eyes widened in surprise when he heard his father was proud of him. A part of his heart was jumping in joy. His father was proud of him. Minato sensed Naruto's surprise. He gave him a kind smile and patted his head. Naruto, I know I was not there for you for quite some time, but I really love you. You're my first child. My duties as Hokage got in the way, but I really want to spend time with you. Can you at least give me a chance? Requested Minato, kindly with a smile. Naruto looked at his father sadly. He didn't know how much Minato had hurt him. A part of him just wanted to say screw off and be done with it, but he really wanted to spend time with his father. I can't just treat him like this. Maybe he really wants to spend time with me. Maybe he does love me like he does with Itachi. Maybe I'm not just a disappointment to him, thought Naruto curiously. He then immediately disposed of such thoughts. He knew his father must be doing this out of pity, and Naruto never wanted anyone's pity. You don't have to do this. I know you must have more important work to do rather than spend time with me, said Naruto sadly. Minato looked at his son sadly. He knew he had to let his son speak freely. You probably hate me, huh? Asked Minato calmly. His voice had an understanding tone in it. Naruto's eyes widened in surprise. He didn't mean it that way. I don't hate you, Tasama, but... said Naruto hesitantly. Minato put a hand on his son's shoulder in order to give him some comfort. Naruto looked at him for a moment. He had to tell his father the truth. Telling lies wouldn't do good for any of them. Speak freely, said Minato kindly with a smile. It's just that I can't forget the past. You were never there for me. I wanted to spend time with you so many times, but you always said you were busy. I know you're the Hokage. I don't hate you, but... said Naruto hesitantly. Minato understood what his son was feeling. He didn't blame Naruto for a bit. He knew what he might hear now would break his heart, but he needed to endure this as he had caused his son so much pain. I just don't care about you anymore, said Naruto sadly. Naruto then got up from the table and silently walked away from the room, leaving behind a broken and wide-eyed Minato. A lone tear slipped from Minato's eyes. He really was feeling very sorry for causing his son so much pain. He knew Naruto wouldn't say such a thing if someone had not pushed him up to his limits. What am I supposed to do? I know this was short, but I just wanted to get a video up today. There will be a lot more videos coming. I'm going for 3 a day. Well, I'll start with 2 because, I don't want to push it. But hopefully 3 a day soon. I hope you all enjoyed this. Make sure you smash that like button so I still know you guys want more of this. All my other series will come out tomorrow. Well, not all of them, but they are coming out. I'm not ending any of the main series. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next part. Roll the outro.